Would you look at that? It's a quarterback running into a stadium. Whew, it's a beautiful thing. Last week, the Buffalo Bills hosted their marquee Return of the Blue and Red practice, though, at the new Highmark Stadium. And I don't know, I've been wondering, is their new head coach, Joe Brady, does he have a real grip on what it's like in Western New York? Take a listen.
I mean, what, over 50,000 for a practice, right? That's special. That's Buffalo. So, yeah, it's about it's another preseason game for the guys being in front of the fans. So, a lot of fun.
That's Buffalo. 50,000 for practice, 5 strong on GMFB on a Tuesday morning. Jamie Erdahl, Manti Te'o, Isaiah Stanback, and Kyle Brandt, plus Mike Garafolo in Western New York. Gentlemen, fantastic to see you. No matter how you got to your chairs, we love that you're on the show. Kyle, Mike G, how are you this morning?
Great. Mike, how you doing?
Fantastic.
Yes.
Could not be more excited for training camp and for the opening of a brand new stadium. You said new Highmark Stadium. I said, is it new Highmark Stadium? They said, no. It's just Highmark Stadium because old Highmark Stadium, gone. Taken to the ground. No dynamite needed.
Yeah.
Just went right. Thing went right down.
That's true?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez,
well,
what a
this place is
description.
not going anywhere for a long time. Can we get a shot behind me of the Bisons? This is the Bison family. If we come over here behind me, do we not have my camera right now?
Oh, no.
All right.
There we go.
Maybe
There we go.
we'll get back to that.
We
Mike,
got you.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
Oh, wow.
So this is
you
the whole
look great.
family back there.
Oh, yeah.
So it's you can see there's a bull, there's a cow, and then there's a calf.
Yeah.
So it's a whole family, and I'm told that smoke can come out of their nostrils and they can light up and everything. So it's very theatric here. It's very, very cool. And I got my Nickel City jersey on that I represent proudly, and I love it. I think it's the best jersey on the face of the earth, and I'll be wearing it all day.
You were traveling cross country. We had to drive here from New Jersey. Christine, our producer, and I.
Yes.
Yesterday, 7 hours. Smoke coming out of all of our noses yesterday. It was incredible.
I just need a quick fact check on those statues behind you guys. Is that a broken table on the back of the calf? Because structurally, it does look fascinating.
Yeah, that's the little calf in the middle. They probably have names and lore and all that right now that we're just learning.
If they don't, we'll give them by the end of the show.
Yes,
Great.
don't worry
Well,
about
I
that.
bet
But we're going to have some fun people come by later on.
I bet. It's not just about Western New York, although we would love to make it that way. Mike Garafolo, please put your insider hat on. As somebody got a big-time paycheck by the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, or at least for years to come. Mike, what's the details on who we called a new Jet or a new Cowboy as of last year?
Yes, Quinnen Williams, who got acquired by the Dallas Cowboys at the trade deadline from the Jets last year, gets a contract extension, as our Ian Rappaport reported. Kyle's wearing the Nickel City jersey. This is a lot of nickels here. 3 years, $105.9 million, I believe, is the exact number on this extension. When the Cowboys acquired Quinnen Williams last year, they took on what he was making from the Jets and was like, oh, boy, what a bargain. And they made it clear they would have they were planning to extend him in the near future. The near future is now for Quinnen Williams. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys making it clear that they didn't just acquire these guys via trade last year. They want to invest in them and make them a big part of the future. So Quinnen Williams gets paid another defensive tackle. Defensive tackles are getting paid left and right here, except for Vita Vea, who I'm going to see tomorrow at the joint practice with the Jets. Vita probably just like, can a brother get a nickel?
By the way, Mike, I looked it up. 2.1 billion nickels as part of that. Yeah, 2.11 billion nickels as part of that deal.
Isaiah.
Hey, listen up. This deal is huge for Dallas. Quinnen Williams is obviously one of the great talents at the defensive tackle position, if not the greatest at the interior defensive line position. This gives them their combo that they need for a long time. They have Quinnen Williams. They have Kenny Clark. This is the foundation of their defense, especially with the new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. They're making it very evident that, hey, we're going to give you what you need in order to have the cornerstone to put forth the defense that we need in order to go out there and win some games. He's a very important part of it. Obviously, this is a great move for him personally, but also this is a great move for the team in terms of cap space. Dallas Cowboys coming into this season only had $5 million of cap space. This takes an annual per year of $35 million that you see from this contract. It spreads it out over 5 years, really. It makes it 30. So now Dallas goes from $5 million of cap space all the way to 15. Now they have a little bit of wiggle room, so they go out there and try to make some more moves before the season.
You just wanted to do that with your shoulders on a Tuesday. It's like,
You got that
yeah.
Curry wiggle to you.
Yeah, he's got that Oxnard, California wiggle to him. Isaiah's been with the Cowboys at training camp, all right? right. Speaking of, at least a former Cowboy, Micah Parsons, who suffered a torn ACL in Week 15 of last season, as we know, of course, there's been growing speculation as to when the Packers star will return to the field. And yesterday, Micah Parsons not only spoke to crash the set with Stacey Dales and Brian Baldinger and explained himself a little bit more.
I'm feeling really good. I attacked my rehab the right way. I think, the staff is pretty happy. I'm pretty happy about where I'm at. And it's just about stacking days and then just saying how I'm feeling after Week 4.
Is there a timeline, Micah? Do you have something in your mind? Like I see there's the Dallas Cowboys are on the schedule this year, Micah.
Yeah.
Like does that sort of get you a little excited, maybe?
Mid-October-ish,
Yeah,
right?
that's the most optimistic like that I can be back.
Yeah.
Of course, I can be later. There can be setbacks.
Yeah.
There can be
Sure.
Trying to integrate back to football is completely different than running on cones and ladders.
I like Stacey Dales mid-October-ish. I don't know. She had that date right in her head. Mike Garafolo, what do you make of these Micah Parsons comments and his anticipated return to the Packers defense?
You said anticipated. I mean, the anticipation was that Micah Parsons would miss the start of the season from jump here. So this is not anything that's going to catch anybody by surprise, Micah Parsons or the Packers. Jonathan Gannon, the new defensive coordinator, he likes to, if he doesn't have to, he likes to just use his front four to rush and get the pressure that way and have guys in coverage. Remember when the Eagles set the sack record? When he was the defensive coordinator, he didn't have to do a whole lot of that. If he doesn't have Micah Parsons, he might have to change some things. We might see a different Gannon defense to try to create some pressure early in the season without Parsons on the field until he comes back. And then once he comes back, then perhaps you could be a little bit more multiple because you're teaching different things and running different things while he's gone. So that's the most fascinating part of this to me. Mid-October-ish, as Stacey Dales said. Yeah, I think that's around a reasonable time to expect Micah Parsons back at the very earliest, Jamie.
Okay, deep breath. Now we have a full understanding as to what's going on, at least in Western New York. We're going to get to the Bills in a second. Dallas, and then, of course, the Green Bay Packers. Let's stay there, though, in the NFC North. Kyle Brandt, does this news change the way you feel about the Packers heading into the season? Because we know how you feel about the Bears and the Lions, but let's swing over to Green Bay.
Sure. Yeah, well, honestly, I love the scoop that we got there from Stacey and Baldy, but I hate timelines with injuries like this. They just make me uncomfortable. And we all love timelines. We want them back. We want them back in the field. But you start playing these games, and sometimes the athletes do too, where they're like, well, Week 7, we got the Lions. It'd be nice to be back for that. Or we got this national game. Who cares? I don't want him to rush back by 1 second. This isn't about Micah Parsons being back by Week 6. It's about him enjoying year 6 for the Packers about 4.5 years from now, 5.5. It's just, I don't care. 1 week doesn't matter. I'm still scarred. Remember years ago, Mike, RG3 blows out his knee and his whole campaign was all in for Week 1. And that was admirable. I get it. But I hate it when they rush. And I don't think Micah sounds rushed. I wonder if the fans are rushed. I hope the Packers aren't rushed. And I will say this, because Jamie mentioned Chicago. We have played the clip of Caleb throwing to DJ Moore in the back of the end zone for the walk-off 60,000 times in the offseason. It is one of the plays of the year. It is one of the best Bears plays of all time. Micah Parsons was not out there for that play. He was not. He might have made a difference. That play maybe never happens. Maybe his face mask goes right between the 1 and the 8 on Caleb's jersey. So while the Bears were having this well-earned victory parade for beating the Packers twice last year and winning the North, the Packers' best defensive player was not out there for the entire latter half of the season, and I don't want him for the entire front half of the season. I don't care, Bears, Packers. You want Micah Parsons on the field. So when I start hearing he's at Week 6, I don't just December, January, next fall. Take your time. It is about longevity. I want him to be a Packer for a long time.
Oh, don't take your time, Micah. Micah Parsons, we need you. If I'm a Green Bay Packer, get back as soon as you can. And there was a word. He said it's most optimistic that he comes back Week 6. In other words, I take that as best case scenario. Mike G, you did bring up Jonathan Gannon as the defensive coordinator for the Eagles and how they led in sacks. Well, that Eagles team had Hassan Riddick, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, and Javon Hargrave. The Packers don't have that. They have Micah Parsons and then maybe Van Ness. That's it. And so if you are the Packers, you got to be worried that your main rusher, your main ability to get to the quarterback probably isn't going to be weak there, best case scenario, Week 6. Because if you look at last year, the biggest story of last year was this. Micah Parsons, that defense, they looked great from weeks 1 to 14. Then Week 15 came, and Micah Parsons got hurt. And look at the big drastic difference between the production of the defense. But it just didn't stop at the defense. The entire team felt that effect. the team start. Watch this. They entered Week 15, guys, the 2nd seed in the NFC. They went 0-4. They didn't win a game. They haven't won a game without Micah Parsons. And they ended the season the 7th seed, barely even making the playoffs. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, Micah Parsons, get healthy, but you can't tell me that Coach LaFleur is in it like, come on, buddy. Like, we have yet to win a game with you on the sideline, so please hurry up and get back, Isaiah. So I think it's a big deal that someone like Micah Parsons, knowing that Jonathan Gannon isn't going to curate a lot of exotic blitzes that we saw last year with the Packers, isn't going to be ready probably until Week 6, Week 7.
Yeah, and you talked about the whole team and the productivity fall off. Tucker Kraft wasn't there as well, so that hurt them on offense. But defensively, yeah, you need Micah Parsons back. Do you need him back sooner than he's 100% healthy? Absolutely not. Give the man what he needs. Give him the time he needs. I know he wants to get back for the Cowboys game, but that's not the most important thing. Everything that's important is everything you just referred to, Manti. His presence on the field. When he was on the field, their pass rush win percentage was 43%. When he wasn't, 23. Sack rate, 7.3% down to 4. Time to the quarterback, 2.7 seconds. When he's not there, it turns into 3. 0.3 seconds is a lifetime in the NFL at the quarterback position. So when he's on the field, he has a tremendous impact. When he wasn't there, these guys are giving up 32 points per game. And as Manti said, they haven't won without him.
This is a very, very heavy NFC conversation as we shift our gears to talk about the San Francisco 49ers. I'm actually headed up to the Bay Area today. GMFB will be from the building tomorrow. They are just under a month away from squaring off against their NFC West rivals, of course, the LA Rams. But in Melbourne, Australia, something to look forward to, as our Omar Ruiz and Ian Rappaport caught up recently with the newly reacquired wide receiver, Deebo Samuel.
You know, this is where I got drafted at, and the culture that John and Kyle and those guys has built with the players that they brought in and the mentality that they have instilled in all the players. It's just a standard. And, you know, you can go back to last year. I was still keeping tabs on the guys, and with all the injuries and this is that and the third that they was dealt, they still had a great season. And that's just the standard of next man up mentality. Everybody practice the same. Everybody live under one standard.
Say less, Deebo. You're really happy to be back with the 49ers, and we are for that team as well, especially the offense. Manti, what do you make of the 49ers now that we are a month-ish away from this team and the Rams heading to Australia?
I don't know what's going on over there, James. I mean, I love that Deebo's back, but he's back because of injury. And we just saw yesterday that Christian McCaffrey is hobbled with something he's dealing with. And that is a guy that we, on this show, showed clips of him doing that little Spider-Man lizard walk. He's done everything that you could. He's over there doing
all for nothing.
Yeah, like, you know that he's putting in the work. He's not just sitting on the couch not doing anything. He invests in his body. He invests in his nutrition. I'm going to have a disclaimer right off the bat. I'm not a scientist, okay? I'm not a doctor, but I don't think it's wrong to start to question, is that little substation over there really an issue?
No, don't say substation. It's 513.
In an era where there is an effort to distance ourselves today from electronics, there's been a push to, hey, if you're going to charge your phone in when you go to sleep at night, put it as far away from your bed as possible. There's devices that you can plug into an outlet that kind of reduce the EMF stuff in the room. There's guys that no longer wear those Bluetooth headphones anymore. They have wired headphones, all in an effort to reduce their exposure to that. You can't tell me that sitting 12 hours in a building next to that thing doesn't have an effect. I saw online of former players of the Niners notice that the trees that were by that substation were dead. The trees opposite the substation were blooming and waving in the wind like all the rest of the trees here in California. And then one day they went out there and it was cut down. So all I'm saying is, who's going to be on that plane to Australia? Maybe some advice. Go camping somewhere else. There's San Jose State over there. Just take the team over there for a few weeks and see how that bodes well for the team. If they stay healthy, if all those injuries come down, because it sucks every single year, Mike G, that this team that you look on paper has the talent to take them the long way. You just don't know who's going to be on the bus come week 1.
Someone unplugged the trees, Mike G.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the 49ers offensive line. I think we really need to focus on the interior. How do I follow that?
I thought Manti would talk about Deebo's route running.
And he was so passionate, so convinced. He's got all the science.
I'm not a scientist, Mike G.
I did hear from someone who used to work for the 49ers. We'll leave it at that recently. He was like, go check the Google images. Years ago, the trees were brown on that side. They weren't on that side.
Really?
It's an overhead satellite shot, and it's like shadows, and it might have been in the fall. I don't know. I tried to do the research on exactly what Manti's talking about. This is a thing that's discussed around the league. It's also a thing that's discussed in their locker room. I think even Kyle Juszczyk mentioned, this was something that the players had talked about for years before it actually came to the forefront a little bit. So I've got nothing more than I did try to do the legwork. I don't.
Has it ever occurred to you, Mike? Just has it ever occurred to you the Earth might be flat? Have you ever thought about that?
I have, but I don't understand. And I talked to Mike Robb about this. I go,
flat Earth?
What's the difference if it is flat? Like, why would we hide that? He goes, because then people are going to want to know what's underneath.
Right.
I was like, really?
I saw some Google images. It looks kind of flat to me. So anyway, Isaiah, get in here. Do you have any thoughts on crop formations?
Listen. Hey, listen, man, I can't go that way with it, but I am concerned for the 49ers, and I honestly feel bad for Kyle Shanahan. When's the last time that Kyle Shanahan had all the ammo he needed? Like, think about it. We know how great of a coach he is. We know where he's been when he's had all his weapons. He has all these guys on the roster, but the availability just hasn't been there. So all of his contingency plans, being able to bring in Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall's coming back, all Deebo Samuel's back, and then everybody's on the sideline, or everybody's on the pup list, or everybody's out for the year. It's just a bad story for them. But it makes you think, what happens when everybody is healthy? What happens if everybody is available for this, man? The NFC West is already dangerous. He proved himself last year, even with a hobbled roster, that he can still be competitive. But if you give this man everything he needs, and these guys are able to be on the field instead of the training table, you better watch out.
There's an arborist program at Pasadena City College, Manti, if you want to enroll. Moving on GMFB, a tree specialist. We have 1 week of preseason starting on Thursday, week 1 of preseason, including Fernando Mendoza making his professional debut for the Raiders. Of course, the Cardinals already have a game under their belt. Bucks, Jets, and Packers, Steelers. A couple of those games on NFL Network, of course, and our sisters, ESPN. Isaiah is here because he took the 101 South down from Oxnard.